Hello friends, in this new video we will define characteristic root for T, where this T is a linear transformation from vector space homomorphic vector space V into the vector space V, and also we take uh, two theorems regarding this characteristic root for T. A of V. A of V is the set of homomorphism from vector space V into the vector space V. Then lambda belongs to F is called a characteristic is called a characteristic root characteristic root of T of T if lambda minus T is singular is singular. Singular means not regular. Not regular or regular means it is called as a invertible. When invertible means there exists T inverse such that T into T inverse equal to 1. This condition is not satisfied, then this mapping is called as a singular mapping. So whenever lambda minus T is a singular mapping, then lambda is called as a characteristic root of T. This is the definition of characteristic root. Now we prove one theorem on this characteristic root. The statement of this theorem is the element lambda belongs to F is a characteristic root is a characteristic root of T belongs to A of V from set of homomorphism from vector space V into V if and only if for some vector V belongs to capital V and this vector is not equal to 0, T of V equal to lambda V. This condition is satisfied when lambda is a characteristic root. Now by definition, if lambda is a characteristic root, if lambda is a characteristic root of T, then by definition there is a vector, then it is when it is a characteristic root if lambda minus T is a singular. Now we have proved one theorem that if T is a singular mapping, then there is a vector V not equal to 0 such that T of V equal to 0. This is for T is a singular mapping. Now apply this theorem here. Lambda minus T is a singular mapping. So by there exists a vector V not equal to 0 in capital V such that lambda minus T of V equal to 0. But this implies that lambda V minus T of V equal to 0, and this gives that T of V equal to lambda V. The converse part of this theorem is also proved. Conversely, if there is a vector V not equal to 0 such that T of V equal to lambda V, then what we get here, lambda V minus T of V equal to 0. T of V equal to 0, or we can write this as lambda minus T of V equal to 0, and this shows that lambda minus t is singular by the same theorem. Here t is of p is a if and only if. This is the statement of that theorem. If t is a singular, if and only if there exists a vector, we have shown this theorem, there exists a vector v not equal to 0 such that t of v equal to 0. So here lambda minus t is a singular. If lambda minus t is a singular, then lambda is a characteristic root of characteristic characteristic root of t characteristic root of t. Okay, so let us prove one more theorem. Actually lemma, the statement of the lemma is if lambda belongs to E of is a characteristic root characteristic is a characteristic root of t belongs to A of v, t belongs to A of v, then for any polynomial q of x belongs to the field of polynomial, q of lambda is characteristic root of q of t of q of t. Let us prove this. So it is given that suppose first lambda is a characteristic root, lambda belongs to f is characteristic root of t, characteristic root of t belongs to A of v. Then there is a non-zero vector, then there is a v not equal to 0 in v such that just we have proved this theorem, t of v equal to lambda v. Now let us calculate t square of v. T square of v means by definition t into t, and we know that how to apply t into t, t1 into t2 of v. So t square means t 2 times, right? So this is known to us. How we apply this? This is t2 of t1 of v. Okay, t2 of t1 of v. So this is same as t into t of v. This is equal to t of v, right? Then for this t of v we write lambda v, t of lambda v. Again this is a scalar, t is a homomorphism, though this is equal to lambda times t of v, but again t of v equal to lambda v, lambda into lambda v. This is equal to lambda square v. Here we get that t square of v equal to lambda square of v. Similarly, t cube of v equal to lambda cube of v, or if we generalize for any positive k, t raised to k of v equal to lambda raised to k of v. K is positive, right? This is for positive. Now if q of x is a polynomial like this, alpha 0 x raised to m plus alpha 1 x raised to m minus 1 plus alpha m, this is my polynomial, alpha I belongs to f. Then you can see that q of t equal to alpha 0 t raised to m plus alpha 1 t raised to m minus 1 plus alpha m. Now this is a polynomial in T. So these are the mappings. These are the mappings. This is a polynomial expression of mapping. So this is again a mapping, and we can apply here Qt of V. Qt of V means alpha 0 t raised to m plus alpha 1 t raised to m minus 1 plus alpha m of V. Alpha m of V. This is like alpha into alpha s plus beta t of V. Right, like this, right? So this is nothing but this is equal to alpha times s of V plus beta times s of t of V. So here is the same alpha 0 t raised to m of V plus alpha 1 t raised to m minus 1 of V plus here lambda alpha m into V. But t raised to m is a lambda raised to m into V. Okay, here we get, then you can see that everywhere we get the polynomial term, polynomial expression. Now here qt of V equal to qt of V equal to alpha 0 into lambda raised to m into V plus alpha 1 into lambda raised to m minus 1 into V plus alpha m into V equal to, now taking V common, this is alpha 0 lambda raised to m plus alpha 1 lambda raised to m minus 1 plus alpha m into V. Okay, what is this? This is a q lambda. This is polynomial q lambda of V, right? So you can see that this is equal to q lambda minus qt of V equal to 0. So this is a singular. This implies that q lambda minus q of t is a singular. Q of t is a singular. So this shows that q lambda is characteristic root of q of t, and hence this proves the lemma. Okay. So let us prove the theorem. And the statement of the theorem is, theorem, if lambda belongs to F is a characteristic root, of t belongs to A of V, then lambda is a root of the minimal polynomial of t. In particular, t has only a finite number of characteristic roots in F. T has a finite number of characteristic root of in F. Okay. So friends, you know that what is meant by minimal polynomial. P of x is a minimal polynomial. P of x is a minimal polynomial for t. Minimal polynomial for t means if degree of p is a m, then no polynomial of lower degree is satisfied by t. This is the lowest degree polynomial satisfied by t. Now let us take as a lambda is a characteristic root of this polynomial. Characteristic root of t. Root of t. Then we know that lambda is a characteristic root by theorem. There is a v not equal to 0 in capital V such that t of v equal to lambda v. In at the very first we have proved this theorem. If lambda is a characteristic root of t, then there is a vector v not equal to 0 in capital V such that t of v equal to lambda v. Again this Pt of v equal to, by definition, p lambda v. Okay, we have proved that qt of v equal to q lambda of v, but p of t equal to 0. So this gives that p lambda of v equal to 0. But friends, this term is not equal to 0 as here we have taken. So this gives that p of lambda equal to 0. B of lambda equal to 0, then lambda is a root of p of x. This lambda is a root of p of x, but p of x is a finite degree. It is a minimal polynomial. Degree of p of x is a finite. P of x only finite has only finite number of finite number of roots in f, and therefore if lambda is a root of this p of lambda and roots are finite, then lambda are also finite. So there can only be finite number of characteristic root. Okay, so there can only be a finite number of finite number of characteristic roots of t, right? So you can see that what is p of x? P of x is a minimal polynomial for t, and p of x is a minimal polynomial, p of t equal to 0. Again we have taken lambda is a characteristic root of t. So therefore there exists a vector v not equal to 0 in V such that t of v equal to lambda v, right? But this implies that just we have proved one lemma q of t qt of v equal to q lambda of v. Applying that lemma we get here p t of v equal to p lambda of v, but p of t equal to 0. So therefore p lambda of v equal to 0, and this means that lambda equal to 0, and hence there are only finite number of characteristic roots. Nextly we prove one more lemma. What is the lemma? If t comma s belongs to a of v, t comma s belongs to a of v, and if s is a regular, s is a regular, then s is regular, then t and s inverse, t and n inverse have the same minimal polynomial, this is lemma. Okay, minimal polynomial. S is given as a regular. S is regular, so there exists S inverse, and the condition S into S inverse equal to S inverse into S equal to 1 is satisfied. then S is called as a regular polynomial. Okay, so let us prove this lemma. Proof is again very easy. You can see that here is T belongs to A of V. A of V is the set of homomorphism from vector space V into V. Okay, and second, if S belongs to A of V is a regular, this is a regular. Now let us calculate S T S inverse whole square. Whole square means the term is 2 times. We write this as a S T S inverse. Okay. Now this is equal to S T S inverse into S into T into S inverse. Then S into S inverse 1. So we get that S into T into T. If this is a 1, then we get T into T. So this will be T square into S inverse. Similarly, S T S inverse whole cube, we get S T cube into S inverse. Okay. So if we continue, we get that S T S inverse whole raised to I equal to S T raised to I into S inverse in this way. Again, consider a polynomial q of x belongs to capital F of x, capital F of x. Then we know that we can prove that this q of S T S inverse equal to S into q of T into S inverse. This is a very easy to prove. Just we have proved that q of T equal to this lambda. For example, my q of x equal to, let us suppose that alpha 0 into x cube plus alpha 1 x square plus alpha 2 x plus alpha 3. Then there q S T S inverse equal to alpha 0 S T S inverse whole cube plus alpha 1 S T S inverse whole square plus alpha 2 S T S inverse plus alpha 3. But this friend, S T S inverse T cube S inverse, this is equal to alpha 0 S T cube S inverse plus alpha 1 S T square S inverse plus alpha 2 S T S inverse plus alpha 3. Now these are the operators and this is a scalar quantity, right? So this is equal to, this is a S into alpha 0 T cube into S inverse. We write this as plus S into alpha 1 T square into S inverse plus S into alpha 2 into S T into S inverse plus alpha 3. Again alpha 3 S T S inverse, we write like this. Now you can see that we can write the here uh, this alpha 3 equal to alpha 3 here S into S inverse. Okay, since alpha is a scalar quantity, this is equal to alpha 3 S into S inverse, alpha 3 S into S inverse 1. So this is alpha 3. Okay friends, then uh, taking S common we get, if we take S common, then we get here I am writing S common alpha 0 T cube plus alpha 1 T square plus alpha 2 T plus alpha 3 into S inverse, like this. This is nothing but Q of T. So S into Q of T into S inverse, this one. But here q of t is if q of t equal to 0, if q of t equal to 0, that then what we get, q into s into t into s inverse equal to 0. That means if q of t satisfies any particular polynomial, then the same polynomial will be satisfied by s t s inverse. Okay, here, but p of x is a minimal polynomial. If p of x is a minimal polynomial, is minimal polynomial for t, minimal polynomial for t, this implies p of t equal to 0. P of t equal to 0, then we get that p of s t s inverse is also equal to 0. Again, p of t lower degree polynomial than this p is not satisfied by this t. So here lower degree polynomial than this p is not also not satisfied by s t s inverse. So this shows that p of x is a minimal polynomial for s t s inverse also. Okay, so there this means that t and s t s inverse have the same minimal polynomial. Friends, thank you for watching the video. I hope I am able to convey the message about the content of the video, and you have enjoyed. Friend, subscribe the channel and share it with your friends of mathematics, and send your messages to me to get more and more improvement in the video. Thank you once again. Thanks.